This is John Key. You're watching channelapa.com. I do a lot of things. I spend a lot of time in my room alone watching internet porn. A lot of stuff. A lot of exciting things. I make lewd comments to people as they walk by me on the street. I don't know. I like making faces at kids, when their parents aren't looking. What I try to do is I try to do stand-up comedy and write for television, but and strangely, some people pay me once in a while to do that. But really, my passion is stamps. Just how exciting the stamp industry has become over the last few years. With the emergence of the internet and the ability for us to trade across countries and borders, and just some of the exotic stamps that I've been able to collect through Africa and Europe it's unbelievable. I don't know if I'm making inroads. What I'm trying to do is just trying to expand as best I can. I've had some luck. Been fortunate enough to tape my own comedy special in Canada this year, and through that I've also been able to start writing for television up in Canada. And you'll find when you're in the entertainment industry like this, it is a small industry. The hardest thing is trying to get into it, and then once you're into it, you start meeting people who know people who know people who have a friend who's in this, and it's weird how that starts snowballing into just getting to know a lot of people in a short period of time. So I can't really say inroads, but it is pretty exciting that I'm starting to meet some interesting people who do have some interesting opportunities. Well, currently I just finished writing for a sitcom starring Colin Mockery from Whose Line Is It Anyways? There was Tanya Lee Williams from Y&R. We had Derek McGrath. He used to be on My Secret Identity with Jerry O'Connell from the fat kid from Stand By Me, and so that show was fantastic, and that's actually airing this fall. And through that, I've been able to make some connections, and there's a couple other projects coming up. Hopefully, we'll see. I could use my talent, I guess you can say, on their show. Oh, I got probably about 3 different brands of humor. I got my true sense of humor that makes me laugh, the stuff that is quite vulgar and crass and very a lot of anger involved. At times I'm surprised. I just don't end up throwing feces at the audience. It's quite it's quite surprising how. I kind of feel like a cage monkey at times, where I just want to just get angry and just throw stuff. I have to say that's my baseline of humor. I enjoy. I got a very strange, different sense of humor when it comes to a lot of things. But then, of course, when you're doing events like this great event right now, like with NAP, the National American Association of Asian Professionals, there is a kind of an understanding that you're going to come in and you're going to talk about different circumstances and situations and something that people can relate to. And there is a different sense of humor there where it's a little more sensible, it's a little more, how can I put it, I guess a little more broad, where more people can understand and relate to it. And so there is that sense of humor. And then, of course, there's the other sense of humor when I'm writing for someone else. There's understanding who that character is and who that person is in their voice. It's trying to figure out their sense of humor and trying to write for them. So there really is, when you get into comedy, you start realizing it's not, things are funny. Things are funny and they're not funny, right? And you think everyone can understand what's funny and what's not, but you start realizing there's a reason why people are comedians and a reason why people aren't comedians, right? Everyone can appreciate humor, but not everyone can generate humor, right? And there's some amazing comedians out there, and you start respecting them even more, and you start realizing the talent they have to be able to make like millions of people laugh, and so you kind of tap into that kind of mentality too when you start doing comedy on a regular basis. You start tapping into the fact that, okay, yeah, there's my sense of humor. There's a sense of humor that I need to have when I'm performing for certain types of people, and there's a type of humor that you want to kind of project when you want to kind of reach a broader audience. So I guess that's my brand of humor, I guess you can say. I don't normally perform in front of large Asian audiences. This is actually only the second time I've actually performed in front of a large Asian audience. And the majority of the time I perform is in nightclubs or at different like theater or corporate events. And the majority of the audiences then are either Caucasian or there's a mixed audience, but not predominantly Asian like this. So that crowd doesn't usually come out to comedy shows. I don't know. I would love for them to. That'd be awesome. But no, usually it's the normal comedy audience, funny enough, that I've found, is predominantly Caucasian. It's a different style that I talk. A lot of comedy, and you'll notice this if you start watching it kind of like scientifically. I guess you guys kind of start breaking it down. You'll notice that a lot of comedy is a fish out of water kind of comedy where it's trying to explain to people your experience in a new environment or in a different environment. And so when I do speak, some of my jokes when I do talk to a predominantly Caucasian audience, some of the humor comes from the fact that they want to hear my perspective being an Asian person within within North America, within a community of non-Asian people. When you're talking in front of an Asian audience, it's a little different because now they can relate to you. You don't need to explain that. Now you can hit those areas a little differently from different angles because you already have their mindset already understands where you're coming from. So it's a little bit different, but funny's funny. So that's pretty much what it comes down to. I don't know if it's humility or it's being humble or it's the fact that I'm really lazy. I really don't have a website. I know I should have had one probably a year or two ago. But my agent, I'm booked out of an agency called Funny Business. I just taped my comedy special on the Comedy Network in Canada. I have some information up there. I have my Facebook page. My name's John Key, spelled K-I. People usually find me on Facebook. I don't know. YouTube, I have some old clips up on YouTube from about four years ago. I should take them down actually because they don't make me laugh anymore. It's like, wow, I can't believe I used to talk about stuff like that. Like, it's really kind of embarrassing. It's like those old love letters you used to write when you were in grade 6. You're like, wow, I can't believe I was that much of a loser, like stuff like that. But it's still kind of fun, and so there's some stuff up on YouTube as well, and of course on channelapa.com.